Hello everyone, you already know who it is, and for those of you that don't, I'm Dead Pines. I want to share my own personal thoughts from the time loss weapons. And just throw it out there because I don't think there's really an easy way to do this. I'm not really a big fan of the time loss weapons. I think there needs to be somewhat of a change to them. I mean, don't get me wrong, they can take adept mods and they're okay in that department, but in my opinion, if something was supposed to be a adept version of a raid weapon, in my opinion, I thought those raid weapons were supposed to be like the weapon to help, do the raid. That's just my opinion. And when I usually ask other people, hey, what's the reason to do get these time loss weapons, they usually just go ahead and say, you can slap adept big ones on it. What? Don't get me wrong, adept big ones is actually a really good mod, but they're thinking the mod's gonna make the weapons do this. When in reality, they're not doing that anywhere, really. The only reason they did it in that footage is because, well, I have a pretty decently rolled Hensen's Vengeance, and I did it in the Strike playlist with, Heavyweight. You know, that mod that increases the damage of your heavy weapon by like a ton or whatever. I don't know the specific percentage right now, but I just know, people were saying that just because you can put on adept big ones on these things, it's gonna make the weapon do that everywhere. And it's not. It's really, really not. It's, in my opinion, it should at least be doing something close to that in the raid, at least, It should have like raid specific perks or perks that are just weird, like weird in a good way. I don't have an example of a perk. This is the first time I'm sharing my thoughts on something like this, so I just don't know like a good example. They could have had something similar to like the Wrath of the Machine weapons, I guess, where they had one perk and then they had another perk that would work off of that other perk to just make it 1,000 times better. I know the Ex Machina had a perk that was like, when this weapon is empty, it reloads exponentially faster, and then it had another perk built like that you could get on it that was like, when you reload from this weapon from empty, it will get a increased magazine size, and that was amazing. That sniper alone was like the sniper I used for all DPS phases like ever, because it was like an amazing legendary sniper nonetheless. Like, it was just so good in my opinion. So in my opinion, that's what I was really hoping for with these time loss weapons, but we just didn't get it, I don't know how to say it. Like, the thing that was supposed to be to getting these time loss weapons, besides saying, hey, I did that challenge that week and here's my roll on it, that's as far as that goes. Like, it's just something that says, hey, I have this, It's not like something like, hey, I have this, it's going to be super useful for killing wyverns or champions in the raid, or hey, it's going to be super useful for absolutely melting oracles on this encounter. So I don't know, I just don't like the time loss weapons as is. And if Bungie wants to go ahead and add more, adept versions of weapons in, say, like dungeons or other raids in the future, I want them to put like a built-in intrinsic perk of the raid mods in those things, because we have mods from Vault of Glass is supposed to make it easier to kill oracles or do damage to the boss, or like you have a chance of weakening the boss if you're on a plate or if you're next to a conflux or something like that. In my opinion, those mods should have been built in to these time loss weapons in some way, shape, or form, because that would have been absolutely mind-blowing. Like, think about it. If I had, sticking with the rocket launcher here, because the rocket launcher is like my most favorite weapon ever. If the rocket launcher had that mod that does extra damage or weakens opponents if you're standing next to a conflux, I would be using that on Master all the time. I'd be like, yo, let me just slap on this with that mod. I can just melt the wyvern instantly. I can just melt the overload champion instantly. I can just melt. Like, that would make sense to me. Or, hey, I have, again, Hensen's Vengeance. I have this lasting impression Hensen's Vengeance. I'm gonna go ahead, oh, hey, we're on the last set of oracles for Atheon. Let me just go ahead and stick this guy or whatever, just to go ahead and weaken him, and then let's just go to town on him, since I weakened him while shooting him at a sink plate or whatever. I don't know, it's just a weird example. I mean, I haven't seen anyone do that yet with any of these mods, but I'm just saying, like, if these weapons had those built-in perks, then that would be amazing. Like, that would be, in my opinion, the reason to go ahead and get these things. But for now, they just don't have it, you know? They just don't have that need to go get them, besides to go get the title, to say you got them, and you know, I think that's really it. Honestly, I can't think of anything else. I think that's really just those two things. So yeah. Am I right to not really, you know, find a reason to get the time lost weapons? Tell me what you think below. Very happy to go ahead and have a back and forth with anyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little video. I always enjoy making them for you. And if you guys like these kind of videos, please let me know. I'm happy to make more. I think that's going to be it for my nonsensical rambling at the moment. I'll see you on the next one. Peace and have a good one. Bye.